Hello and welcome back to Onto the Ball. I'm your host, Scott Nichol, and I'm joined as always by Travis Morgan. James O'Brien isn't here. He's gone to watch our local team, Corby Town, in a local derby against Harbour Town. He goes to pretty much every home game, so he's not
Was it?
really, he's not really available on a Saturday afternoon. So me and Trav are going to jump on for a quick half an hour thing to preview the FA Cup fourth round games. Brighton at home to Liverpool and Manchester United at home to Reading. Trav, how are you doing? You okay? What are you up to on this Saturday?
Just went driving range. It was nice.
Nice.
Knocked a few balls, mate. I've been going quite a bit recently, to be fair, trying to get back into the swing of things and stuff. But golf's just one of those things. It's like going to the gym and losing weight. Like you lose it so quickly if you don't keep on top of it. It takes ages to get your swing going again, and then if you don't go for a couple of weeks, you're screwed. So, but no, I'm enjoying it. It's good. It's good. It really is.
Nice one. Get back into it, ready for the summer. Me, you, and Neil will join up for a game. I don't know if any of our viewers remember Neil. He's the Arsenal fan that has been on a stream or two, but he's just too busy for us peasants. We're going to get straight into it. Trav, you kick us off on Man United. They're on first. They're on tonight. What's the team news? Do you think Haag is going to go strong? Surely not. Being at home, he can afford to rest pretty much your whole first team. Or do you think he'll go quite strong because he did in the League Cup?
Yeah.
And he did in the third round FA Cup, didn't he? Against Everton, was it?
Yeah, against Everton, yeah. We made that game more difficult. I expect wholesale changes, surely. I mean, Paul Ince is back in town. It would be good to see Paul Ince, ex-United player, managing Reading. So, no, it'd be good to see him back at the ground. But no, I expect wholesale changes for the game, to be fair. I mean, there's rumours about Jadon Sancho being involved in some sort of capacity, which will be great because I know he's had a lot of off-field issues as well, and his form's been a little bit indifferent. So it would be nice to see him be involved at least for half an hour in the game at some stage. He may even get a start and give us 60 if he's fit enough. But I think he'll be eased back into the fold. Some interesting quotes about Harry Maguire in the second phase of Ten Hag's interview, saying, because the journalist was just basically trying to get Ten Hag to say a few bad words, saying, oh, he's your fifth choice centre-back, isn't he? You know what journalists are like. They're trying to trip managers up all the time, making headlines, Maguire's fifth choice centre-half. And I think Ten Hag's dealt with that side of it well, basically saying, like, he's part of the squad. It's up to him, really. He's got to earn his own place. And the thing is, he's not just singled out one player. I think he's been quite consistent with that and blanket with his approach. He's basically said players will play on merit. I don't think there's been any sort of favoritism with anyone. If you're on form and you're in the side, you keep your place. And I think he's given people opportunities as well. So I expect to see maybe Garnacho start today. Palestri, I expect to sort of be involved in some capacity. Jadon Sancho, the likes of McTominay, Fred, Maguire, Lindelof, those players. I think Dallow's still unfit, which is a shame. He's been injured longer than I thought he would be after the World Cup. He's not played a game since the turn of the World Cup. I think he's struggling with a bit of an ankle injury.
So which is good for Wan-Bissaka because he's getting a sniff now, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's done really well.
He's doing all right.
He is doing all right. I think Ten Hag has given him a chance and he's taken it. You can't deny that. Like, he's doing very well, to be fair. So it's going to be interesting. I expect, like I said, us to make wholesale changes. Maybe a change in goal with Jack Buckland, who's been signed as well this January. I actually think he will start the game. But I think it should be comfortable for United. I think we should be winning this game, even no matter how many changes we make. To be fair.
Absolutely, definitely. So Harry Maguire, obviously, you think if he's going to ever play, it'll be tonight. When he comes on, does he assume the armband? So if he come on for the last 5 minutes in a league game, does he take it off Bruno? Is it like when Henderson comes off?
Yeah, he takes it off. Yeah,
so he's still the full club captain then.
Yeah, it's a very surreal situation, the Maguire thing, because
it is like, well, you know better than me. Is there any kind of murmurs around him leaving, even on loan in this window? Surely there has to be.
I don't think Ten Hag's gonna let him go this summer because of obviously like Varane's not fitness. I think Varane's had a good run of fitness this season. He stayed fit, and I think he's been one of the reasons why we've kept so many clean sheets, in all fairness. but I don't think he'll want to take the risk. I think if Varane was to get an injury for a few weeks, I'm not saying it would leave us short, but I just don't think he trusts Maguire enough to like sort of take that risk of like a Varane injury. So I think he wants to keep the squad together and at least to the end of the season and then reassess. We've spoke about transfers. I think he's come out and said, obviously I've got my ideas of how I want the team to sort of look within the summer, but if there is an opportunity to do something in January, we should seize upon it. So it sounds like he's maybe identified somebody that he thinks can probably add a little bit of strength to the squad for the running and stuff in terms of us going for top 4. Whether he gets it or not, it is a different story, and I don't think he will, because we're going similar to Liverpool. We're going through a sale at the moment. I don't think the Glazers are going to dip their hand into the pocket too heavily on somebody who's going to cost a huge outlay if they're going to look to sell the club in terms of a full sale. So they're using their brain as well. But I'm sort of happy with the squad as it is at the moment for the targets and the objectives we've got. Like, I just don't think we need to sort of panic. Everybody's getting an opportunity when the time is right, and we're still in all competitions that we entered at the start of the season. That double-legged tie against Barcelona is around the corner.
Yeah, that's kind of looming, isn't it? And when you look at the League Cup, the FA Cup, and then it's the Barcelona doubleheader. I seen your tweet the other day. You got 10 games in 30 days.
Yeah, I can see us going out of one of these competitions very soon. I don't think the FA Cup. I think if I was to choose to sacrifice one of them, it'd probably be the FA Cup, to be honest. Like,
really?
Yeah, like the Europa League.
I thought it'd be the Europa League because it's still it's a marathon. I don't know how many games are still to go, but it's a bit like it's the Champions League qualification cup. You're probably going to get top 4 anyway. I think that's nailed on now. I'd have thought 2 domestic cups would be right up your street.
No, I agree. I do agree, definitely. Yeah, to a certain extent, like without a doubt. But I don't know, like it's just something about not the Europa League, but with Ten Hag being in his first season and that, if he can go far in a European trophy, especially knocking out Barcelona, who are obviously going to be one of the favourites for the competition, along with ourselves, Arsenal, there'll be a few other teams that sort of dropped out of the Champions League and stuff. So it'll be tough, but I think if he was to get over the line in the Europa League, let's say he did a Europa League and you were EFL Cup double with a top 4 finish, that would be an astronomical first season for him. It really would. I'm not putting pressure on him and saying he has to win that, but I'm just saying, like, if I was to sacrifice one of those competitions with the squad and the amount of games, I'd probably say the FA Cup's the one that I would personally like push to the side and rest a lot of the boys in, to be fair. But it's going to be interesting. Like I said, games are coming thick and fast. A lot of them at home, which is a little bit softens the blow a little bit. But yeah, I expect us to win comfortably tonight.
Nice one. Give us a quick starting 11 if you were Travis Ten Hag, and prediction for the score.
I think I'd go for Butland in goal, Malacia, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, because we've not really got anyone else that can cover at right back, which is a little bit of a blow, unless he plays Lindelof right back and plays another centre back. That's an option. I think McTominay, Fred in midfield. I think we'll see one of the youngsters as well, like this Kobe Mino has been rated very highly. He played in the last round against Charlton in the AFL Cup. He came on, so I think he might even get a start tonight. And then up front, I'm going to say, interesting one. I'm going to say
Sancho, Weghorst.
I don't think Sancho will play from the start. I'm going to go for maybe Pellistri, Weghorst. Martial's not fit again. So, yeah, I'd say probably Weghorst, Pellistri. And the last one, I'd probably, maybe Sancho, actually. He might get a start, Jadon Sancho, to be fair, because I think he will rest Anthony and he will rest Rashford without a shadow of a doubt. But, I think he'll go with them 3. I'm going to say Sancho to start, actually. I think he will start.
Score?
Yeah. 3-0. 3-0 United. 3-0. Come on. Another clean sheet.
Another cleanie.
Fresh linen out. Get the fresh linen out again, man. I'm running out of linen. I really am. I'm running out. Yeah. But yeah,
You didn't have any linen against Arsenal. I know that much. No. It was dirty linen. I'm going to go 3-0 as well. Probably 4-0 just to mix it up.
Yeah.
4-0 to Man United. I think it'll be a comfortable passage through to the 5th round. Is the 5th round the quarterfinal, or is it the 5th round then the quarterfinal?
Quarterfinal, one before the quarters. I think for everybody, everyone wants to just avoid Man City for as long as possible because they can literally put 2 teams out. I mean, yesterday's game against Arsenal, that Arsenal that rested a lot of players, but City, they went quite strong, City, but if they wanted, they could have changed 8 or 9 of them boys and they probably still would have been as strong. Whereas Arsenal, you can tell when they leave a few players out, it does have an effect on them for sure.
Oh, massive. Did you see that tweet doing the rounds of Lakonga? That his name, Lakonga?
No. Yeah. What was happening?
It's just saying he basically keeps striding side to side, saying he looks lost in the midfield. It was something like, how is this guy ever in an Arsenal midfield? And he keeps going side to side. He basically watches Nathan Ake stroke the ball into the corner and he just watches it. It is quite a funny, funny video, to be honest. Twitter is a cruel place. Yes, a party's going for a scan tomorrow or something to do with his ribs, so that would be massive for them, obviously.
I thought if anybody wants to see how to deal with Bukayo Saka, then just watch Nathan Ake's performance yesterday. I thought he was brilliant. I don't know.
I said it on the last stream. Nathan Ake, whether it's centre back or left back, he's making waves. He's doing well. He's in on merit and performance. Pocketed Saka last night, scored the winner. He scored against Liverpool in the League Cup as well.
Did he?
Just after the World Cup. Yeah, he's doing really well.
I think when City want a defensive fullback who's not going to raid forward and stuff, he's perfect for that role. I don't think he gives a lot going forward. I know he scored, but generally, Cancelo and Walker are clear of him from an offensive standpoint. But defensively against Saka, it's the best I've seen anybody defend against Saka all season, to be honest. But that sort of, in your words, wets the palate for the 2 league games, doesn't it, between the 2? Because it's gonna be fireworks. Because Arsenal will have everyone back for that game, and City will obviously be strong as well. So I think it's going to be interesting, that game.
They're going to be 2 mad games, and they really could cancel each other out in terms of whoever's at home will win their game. But if one of them could grab an away point or an away win, it will just flip it on its head. And if it's obviously Man City, the Arsenal are going to be panicking like mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, on to Liverpool, and this couldn't be a worse tie for us.
Yeah, Brighton tough.
Couple of weeks ago, they patterned us up 3-0, and it was really abysmal. We done the video, obviously, analysing it, and it really was rock bottom. And I can't believe we've been drawn out against Brighton. You know, they say you can win an FA Cup just on the draw, and that is true to an extent, but you're going to meet someone strong along the way. But to have 2 Premier League sides in a row in the FA Cup,
and the replay is cruel.
Yeah, the replay. So Jurgen Klopp, he's really got his work cut out here. I don't know what way he's going to do it. I can pick what team I would go with. Not saying that he will, but it's almost like he's created a bit of an issue now, especially up front. And I know I said on the last stream that the midfield is looking so dreadful because they can't get box to box. They're trying to support the misfiring front 3 so much that it's leaving them a bit leggy when it comes to getting back and doing defensive duties. But for the front 3, I had to check again. When I looked back at the last game, they played Harvey Elliott on the left side of the front 3. So it was Elliott on the left, Gakpo in the centre, and Salah on the right. I don't think he'll ever do that again. Nunez come off the bench, so hopefully he's back and fit. And I do think Jurgen is going to go with his strongest 11, whatever that may be these days. I don't think anyone really knows what a strongest 11 is with all these injuries. But I can only imagine he's bought Nunez as a centre forward, but there's a lot of talk, especially on Twitter, that he's eyeing Gakpo to be a Firmino replacement. He's talking about a link between the midfield, which would suggest to me that he sees Gakpo through the middle And Núñez has certainly done well off the left, but we bought him as a striker.
Yeah.
And again, that might create another problem, that if he beds Núñez in on the left and then Gakpo tries to find some sort of, not find form, that's not very fair on him. He's only arrived and played 4 games into a struggling team. But if Gakpo can start finding his feet in the Premier League, in this side with the system, where would that leave Luis Diaz? Luis Diaz hopefully will be back in March. He's straight back in on the left without a doubt. So then you're trying to mould Núñez back in the centre, I would imagine. I can't imagine Núñez would be on the bench for Gakpo.
Yeah.
So to me, tonight and moving forward, it's got to be Gakpo on the left and Núñez in the centre and Salah on the right. So I can imagine that's what he'll do, because we need a performance against Brighton. Nothing to do with wanting to progress in the FA Cup, but it's almost like we need to excise the demons of that 3-0 2 weeks ago, it just knocked the stuffing out of everybody.
Yeah.
So obviously he's got decisions to make there, and then that will be back into the midfield, where if he goes with a tried and trusted, you could say, Thiago, Henderson and Fabinho, but that was the midfield 3 that got slaughtered at Brighton.
Yeah.
I cannot see him going with that again. I think he needs some more legs in there, which might mean the badge starts. It might be the badge, CDM, Thiago on the left, and Harvey Elliott on the right, even.
Yeah. Like you said, I agree. Like, he's got to have legs in there. Like, that game against Brighton in the league was just too comfortable for Brighton, wasn't it? It was just too easy. And that literally cannot happen again. I mean, the vibe... Go on, mate.
It was rock bottom.
Yeah, it was rock bottom.
I think that's the worst I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Certainly under Klopp anyway. I'm not including Roy Hodgson's era or anything like that. Under Klopp. And Klopp said it himself. I think he said it's the worst result he's ever had in his entire management career.
Yeah.
Not just Liverpool.
The fan base are bubbling as well. Like, I don't know if you can feel it on Twitter. And Twitter isn't the be all and end all, but the vibe I'm getting, like, as even a neutral, take United fan out of it, is that the fan base are getting angrier and angrier as the weeks go by. And especially as, like, Arsenal putting in bids for Caicedo and other teams are starting to buying players. I think you just sort of need the window to shut by hook or by crook, whether you sign or not. It's just becoming a major distraction, and it's like nobody's focused. I think Klopp, like, is spending more time talking about transfers than he probably wants to talk about. Like, I think he's saying all the right things, like that he wants to improve the way the current squad are playing. That doesn't mean he doesn't want transfers, but he's just trying to get on with his job the best he is. He's always been very integral with the way he's sort of handled situations. He's never really cried to the board saying, I'm not being backed or anything like that, or given many sort of major subliminal messages. But, like, I think now he must be underlying feeling the pressure a little bit from the fans now, because no one sort of knows what's going on in terms of transfers and what squad you're going to have when the window slams shut. I think you just got to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Like, this could be your squad going into the rest of the season. I see that from an outsider and think,
it will be. We're not going to spring anything now in the next 48 hours. That, to me, that's not even an option. It's not even a possibility. But like you say, I think it's the unknown. Obviously, the unrest amongst the supporters and maybe the angst from Klopp himself is the unknown, whether we're going to have new owners. But in terms of the fan, new owners or not, let's say it's not, have we got any money to spend in the summer? It's almost like the only thing that can stop this. And let's say Caicedo goes to Arsenal in the next 48 hours. The support will be up in arms. They really will. Arsenal are building a squad while Liverpool are building a stand. If Caicedo goes there, it's almost like we would need something like Enzo Fernandez or Bellingham is announced for the summer. It's a done deal. Pre-contract agreement for that fee. He's coming in July. That is the only thing. So it's a bit the unknown. We don't know if we've got any money to spend. We don't know if we're realistically in for any of them. Never mind just Caicedo. Twitter's gone mad with leaks about Sander Berg from Sheffield United, saying that would just be typical Liverpool. That would, if we went for someone out of the Championship, cheap and cheerful, to try and appease the fans. But yeah, I don't know.
I think
it's always the same when the window's open, like you say.
I think what's making everybody more disgruntled as well is that that the owners have got money to a degree, more than what they're actually spending or willing to spend. Do you know what I mean? They're not prioritizing Liverpool, and I think that's where the main gripes come in. Like I said, they're more interested in the American clubs and stuff like that, which they're American. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like it has to be expected to a degree, but the fans want change now. You've been promised change. We need to see some movement. You need to feel involved in the process in terms of what's happening as a fan. That's the most important thing. Like I said, everything feels very unsettled and very up in the air, and every single defeat or drop point that you have just compounds and adds to that sort of misery. So it's like, even if you do get a good win under your belt, like you just don't feel confident that it can be sustained. Like, especially when you beat Spurs away in the league a couple of months ago, you thought, right, this is it now. This is going to be the catalyst. It was a good performance. And then since then, it's just been, again, a rocky road of just like...
It's been mad, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we live streamed that Spurs game, and it feels like about 6 months ago now.
Yeah.
And it was the last comprehensive win that I can remember. I know we beat Villa, and I know we beat Leicester, but both of them could have been a banana skin. There was nothing comprehensive about it.
Leicester was 2 own goals.
Leicester were very unlucky. We got lucky. We've been beat by Brentford. We've drew against Wolves in the Cup, beat by Brighton. So yeah, it's just, this is not why I started up onto the ball. I wanted to start it up when we were tatting teams up, top of the league, so I could be like on camera every week, like up the mighty Reds. And
now it's all doom and gloom. But I mean, on to tomorrow's game. I mean, Brighton have got their own issues.
Yeah, let's not digress. Going on about the transfers and the window and FSG. Tomorrow, Brighton. Yeah, I mean, like I say, so the midfield is a massive question mark. I don't even know what way Klopp will play it. I've just guessed there he'll stick with the badge, Harvey Elliott for some legs, and Thiago's been amazing. He really has. My only gripe with Thiago is I wish he was 10 years younger, but that's not his fault. But then it in defence, he picked Milner at right back last time. I mean, if Milner's the answer at right back, and I'm not slagging Milner, he's a fantastic professional. Then what does that say for Alexander-Arnold, for his confidence, for his future as a right back? It raises more questions than answers, and I don't know why Klopp does it. Only he'll know. But again, I think he'll go Trent Arnold at right back, and I think he'll stick with Gomez and Konate at centre back, because Matip played in that 3-0 at Brighton, and I'm his biggest fan in the world. I think he's the best centre back in the world, and he got absolutely put on toast against Brighton. It was the worst 90 minutes I've ever seen from him.
How do you feel about like Klopp's press conferences, like before the game and stuff? Like,
I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched them in a long time.
Right.
I don't know if I don't like what I'm hearing, or I don't know if I think Jurgen Klopp's not lying, but just thinking I've got to say this, I've got to say that, I've got to be tight-lipped. I don't really feel like there's any value in them anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got to admit I haven't watched them. So I read enough online on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to see what's going on. But I don't know, to be honest. All I know is that he's not going to have much to say while we're in a bad place, and we've just got to turn it around quick. I said a couple of weeks ago now, we need to get compact at the back, be hard to beat again, go back to the basics. I was watching listening to the Anfield Rap podcast this morning on the dog walk, and they said the same. I said it weeks ago. We need to just get ugly again. And that might involve the badge playing more, like I've said before, it's CDM, not venturing too far forward. I've seen calls that Thiago, with his tenacious tackling, could be a good CDM. And I thought that would be reminiscent of when Gerrard moved CDM in 13-14. Do you remember he played that kind of quarterback role? Directing it from CDM, that could be an option, and then maybe two players with legs in front of him. But I just don't know where it's going to go. But I just know I'm not looking forward to it. I expect to get dumped out of the FA Cup, because I don't expect anything to improve anytime soon, and I'm going to head straight for the score prediction. I'm going to go for a repeat of my last prediction against Brighton. I said we'll get beat 3-1. I got it wrong. It was 3-0. So, yeah, I think we'll go out again, and the unrest amongst the fans will intensify. The window will still be open for another day or two after tomorrow's game, and there's nothing to look forward to. 3-1, Liverpool are out of the FA Cup. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a Brighton win as well. I think it'll be a little bit closer. I'm going to go for 2-1 Brighton. Obviously, I know Brighton have got their own issues with Caicedo out, Trossard's not there now, but the manager just seems to be able to find a way to just keep the vibe going, keep the continuity going in terms of the way they play. There's such a well-oiled, well-coached side that I think, yeah, you've just got too many issues at the moment to probably cope with it. I mean, when Trossard left, he just left Trossard out the squad the game before, and he's done the same with Caicedo tomorrow. It doesn't seem to bother him what sort of characters he leaves out of the team. He's very confident in his own ability and the team that he's going to pick. So, yeah, I'm just going to I think Brighton will shade it. 1:30 kickoff, place will be bouncing. They've got a good crowd down there, and it's quite a hostile atmosphere, quite a tight pitch. Well, the stands are close to the pitch. It's quite tight. I think if Brighton can get off to a good start, which they'll look to do, I think they'll run out 2-1 winners. But Liverpool.
There's also the chance that they might rest as well, isn't there? Because they're flying in the league. They want to finish as high as they can. You don't know how much they value the FA Cup. I think that's the only chance Liverpool have got, to be honest, if Brighton rest a few.
I think it's an important game for both teams because, like, realistically, what else have either team got to win in terms of silverware? It's honest, isn't it? Like, when you reflect on the season, I know Liverpool have still got an outside chance of top four, not with the way they're playing.
So do Brighton. De Zerbi might be eyeing that fourth spot. You never know.
You just never know, do you? But
how times have changed.
I know, mate. Exactly. But in terms of silverware, it's all both teams can win. So you'd expect it to be a competitive game. It'll be a good watch. I'm looking forward to it, mate. To be honest, I think how he sets that front three up will be the most intriguing thing for me because, like you said, with Núñez back, you probably expect to start the game. I expect Núñez to start. Salah's going to start. So then on the left, is it going to be a Gakpo, which you would probably think it will be, but how they actually line up in game will be the interesting thing. Is it going to be Gakpo through the middle, Núñez on the left, which, like you said, would be quite strange when naturally they play in the other position. So yeah, it's going to be an intriguing one, and I'm looking forward to it.
I bet you are. The opposite of me. Right, nice one, mate.
Yeah, mate, nice one.
Right, if anyone's made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. It says it down there on the ticker. We've moved to StreamYard to test it out, and it's pretty slick. I like this platform, so we'll probably use it a bit more often. So yeah,
little Old Trafford background behind me, mate.
Yes. Right, we'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Trav.